Welcome back to Boom Shot. I'm Kale. This is Colby, and Book of Boba Fett episode 7 is out, and we are here to give our thoughts about this episode. We're not gonna do a traditional recap, our traditional video. We're gonna be talking about this episode and the series as a whole. So let's waste no time and jump right into it. Thank you guys for watching.
Boom! You looking for this?
All right. Okay. Spoiler warning.
Big spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning. It's been out on Disney Plus, but so you can go watch it whenever if you have Disney Plus. But spoiler warning. And let's not waste any time. So we're just gonna hop into a quick synopsis. So basically, Boba and his allies they go to toe to toe with Cad Bane and the Pike Syndicate, and Boba and the boys take down Cad Bane and the Pikes, and with Boba actually killing Cad Bane in the process. I think it's not understating it to say that fans are heavily divided, and it's definitely not an even split.
No,
definitely not an even split. And I really don't even think they're divided. I think they're just people are just mad.
Yeah.
I think people are just mad in general. This is kind of like The Last Jedi, except nobody thinks that nobody's happy with Cad Bane's death.
Let me say this. I'm a big Cad Bane lover.
You are a caddy daddy lover.
He's Cad Babe, as I actually typed out earlier. It goes, for me, Captain Rex, Ahsoka, Cad Bane.
Yeah.
I love this man.
That's quite the hierarchy right
and
there.
Let me tell you, I felt it in my soul when he died.
Dude, it did feel like a part of you died.
I was so sad, but I'll say this. The episode as a whole, minus that part, I loved it.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I'm not, and I know a lot of people are quick to judge the entire episode off of that one moment, but you gotta be able to separate, what happened in that moment versus the entire episode. The entire episode was good, and I was telling my brother that it did really feel Star Wars-esque, Star Wars, the Clone Wars-esque.
Yeah.
Just a lot of different storylines happening at once, and a lot of characters coming together. It felt very Star Wars, the Clone Wars to me.
But make no mistake, we're definitely going to be talking about the Cad Bane scenario here.
No doubt about it.
But yeah, the episode as a whole, it was really good.
I mean, and we saw some good. So I think a lot of fans are mad because in Star Wars and Clone Wars, as everybody knows, or everybody who's seen Star Wars and Clone Wars knows, for those who are more casual, this probably doesn't really affect anybody at all.
Yeah, they're probably seeing it as good guy killing bad guy.
Yeah, Boba win. But for those of us who watch Star Wars and Clone Wars every episode, it's we grew up on Cad Bane, and so we have very strong feelings about Cad Bane.
And then we saw him in live action 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes screen time, baby. And don't get me wrong, the scenes he was in were absolutely epic.
And that's probably why the big reason why people want him not to die.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it was so cool.
And you had, a great comparison to this. You can go ahead, about Darth Maul. I think that was a very good, live-action comparison.
Oh, yeah, because with Darth Maul, well, really, yeah, we saw him in Phantom Menace, right?
Yeah.
We see him, he's dead. Everybody thinks he's dead.
Yeah.
And so people were upset about that. Darth Maul is one of the coolest. That's the thing. Darth Maul and Cad Bane are two of the coolest characters.
And Boba Fett too. People were really upset that Boba Fett died in episode 6. Died in episode 6.
And Boba Fett, a lot of people thought he'd come back, but with Darth Maul, you thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Until George Lucas and Filoni had the idea to bring him back in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And so with this, you see it was kind of the opposite, I guess. You see Darth Maul in live action, and then in animation he died with the fight scene.
Yeah, and
Rebels.
But see, his role was expanded he got an expanded role in animation. So they took him from live action, having no role in live action, and animated him and gave him an expansive role. Whereas in Cad Bane, they took an expansive role in animation and gave him nothing in live action, and killed him off.
Killed him. It's the opposite.
Yeah, and so it'd almost be I guess, if they brought, Boba Fett, they brought him into Mando Season 2 last season, or last year. It'd almost be they brought him in for a couple minutes, and then they killed him off at the end of the episode. And people were just we finally get to see Boba again, and then they killed him.
Yeah.
And so, and not to say that we haven't gotten to see Cad Bane in a lot of material. We've seen him in Clone Wars, we've seen him in Bad Batch.
Yeah, that being said,
there's a lot of history that could have happened, and he's still. We'll make a video on this later, but he's still one of the top bounty hunter, one of the top bounty hunters in Star Wars.
And what hurts so bad too is that we just now got to see him in live action.
Yeah.
For people like us that grew up on Clone Wars, seeing him in live action is one of the coolest things.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, like, I don't really think we stressed it, like how cool it was to see this trench coated hat figure. You're just walking, bro.
Dude, when that scene in the last episode, when that happened, I think I started.
Yeah, it started shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
It was just insane to watch.
I was going nuts, man.
I mean, and basically, like, the scenes that we saw, like, we see Cad Bane trying to tempt Boba's emotions by telling him that the Pikes were the ones who, because Boba wanted to negotiate a treaty with the Pikes, and then Cad Bane's like, you sure you want to do that with the people who killed your Tusken family or whatever? And by the way, yeah, you and my brother called that. I don't know why I wasn't on that train, but anyway,
we talked about that in a former video.
Yeah, but that's not the point. Like, so we see, like, that was just a really cool encounter, and then obviously last episode we got to see Cad versus
Cobb Vanth.
Yeah, dude, and it's just it was so cool to see him live action, and it almost feels like an injustice to kill him that soon, that way.
Like that first scene you were talking about with Cad Bane when he pulled up, and told him all that. That was just so cool because you knew they knew each other, and you knew Cad Bane kind of raised Boba, So that whole thing, I just wish we got to see more of that. Yeah,
and it was like, and you got some people who are seeing this, like, I guess there are very few people who are seeing this, and a Star Wars theory pointed out that they're seeing this more on a poetic side rather than, like, oh gosh, Cad Bane dead. But, like, they're seeing it as this is Boba really getting rid of, like, finally killing or getting rid of his bounty hunter lifestyle because he's killing the one that trained him.
Yeah, that trained him.
And I think it was cool. That was a cool encounter at the very end. He's like, let me teach you one final lesson, and then Boba ends up killing him. Like, that's awesome to see as somebody who likes Boba Fett, but as somebody who likes Cad Bane, it's like, I mean, can you really justify that death? Like, was that really a good way for Cad? Like, if the fight had been, I guess, longer and more evenly matched, like, we see Cad Bane take Boba down, and then we see Boba take Cad Bane down and kill him. Like, we didn't really see, it wasn't, like, evenly matched. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. I think the fight could have been more drawn out.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It could have been more drawn out, and I think the fight should have happened like 3 years down the road.
Yeah.
I think what the whole idea of it, Boba killing Cad, like you said, to put the final nail in the coffin to his bounty hunter past. Yeah. That's a cool concept.
Yeah, it's great.
But how it was so soon in the fight, it was too quick.
Yeah, it felt it didn't feel choppy. It felt natural, but it felt natural for those who didn't already know who Cad Bane was. That I'll say that. But for those of us who knew, like, I mean, Cad Bane went toe-to-toe with Fennec Shand. Cad Bane stole a freaking holocron from the Jedi Temple. Cad Bane went toe-to-toe with Anakin and Ahsoka. Obi-Wan. Like, this guy just dies to Boba Fett like that.
And we do, it is confirmed Cad Bane is the quickest hand in the galaxy.
Oh, yeah. And not even close. He had Boba beat by a good 2 seconds.
I mean, he shot him in the shoulder twice, but, like... Yeah. I wish we'd have gotten to see more of him. Like I was saying earlier, I like the idea of like Star Wars Theory pointed out too, him destroying his bounty hunter past. Yeah. But I just wish it would have happened 3 years later. We got to see a lot more Cad Bane. And so that's kind of like our thought process. Like, overall, so we've gone into the fan tension. You got people who are like seeing this as a poetic ending. That's a very small minority of people. And then you got, like, and I'm able to see both sides, like, because I'm somebody who loved the Clone Wars. But I'm also somebody who loved it. Like, I don't think a lot of people enjoyed the ending of Clone Wars, like the way it ended with Ahsoka. Some people didn't enjoy that, but I loved it. But anyway, like, I'm somebody who's able to see both sides. And so I'm kind of, like, agreeing but also disagreeing. I'm like, I kind of wanted to see more of Cad Bane. And by kind of, I mean I really wanted to see more of Cad Bane. And I'll say this for the Cad Bane lovers out there, including myself. Yeah. I think... I'm not going to say it's confirmed because it isn't right now as far as we know. Yeah. I think we'll see Cad Bane live action again.
Whether that's in the past or...
And hopefully the future and the past. Yeah. But we were talking about this earlier. I think there'll be a Cad Bane. I hope he gets his own show.
I think after fan reaction, Disney would be stupid not to capitalize on it. Disney loves the money, bro. They're going to capitalize on it somehow.
Yeah. So, I mean, Boba Fett, I mean, he's one of the biggest characters in Star Wars that everybody knows.
Yeah, and let me just say this real quick. This just occurred to my mind. Mm-hmm. So we've seen animated characters come to live action before. That's not that uncommon. It's not that it's not uncommon, but we've seen Ahsoka.
We've seen it now.
We've seen Ahsoka, okay, and she's the biggest example. And her adaptation from her animated self is pretty good, right? Yeah. Her in live action looks really good. But Cad Bane that the live action adaptation of Cad Bane, it felt like there was no difference in the Clone Wars.
Like
you can tell the difference between Ahsoka, like Ashley Eckstein Ahsoka versus Rosario Dawson Ahsoka. Like they're similar in character the way they act, but like still at the same time there's differences. Dude, I felt like I was watching Clone Wars Cad Bane. Like,
and that's the thing too. They got the same voice actor.
Yeah, I know, and that made the biggest.
His voice was. It's the same guy is incredible.
Yeah, I know, and it does hurt. It does hurt to watch an icon like Cad Bane kick the bucket like that. So I completely. I mean, like we've gone over the fan tension, and we've basically given our thoughts about it. Like we're kind of on. I'm kind of on both sides. Like I understand, but I think I'm more on the one side. I want to see Cad Bane back.
Oh, I definitely do that.
I mean, I know you're on that side. Ain't no doubt about it. Ain't no doubt about it, dude.
Yeah.
The way I feel about Ultron, you feel about Cad Bane.
Yeah, for real. That's a good comparison.
Yeah.
But I feel like, as I said earlier, the whole thing, like, I feel like the idea was there, like, what you're saying, Star Wars, they were saying, like, how they were thinking it's coming full circle, and it really had, but it's just too soon, I feel like.
And I think, I think we'll put this section of the video to end like this. Filoni and Favreau, they know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
These people know they know what they're doing. They've carried us through Mandalorian season 1, season 2, and Book of Boba Fett season 1. And you can say what you want. I know a lot of people haven't been a fan of Book of Boba Fett season 1. I liked it personally. I think you did too, up until maybe this controversial ending. But still, like they know what they're doing. I think if they see fan reaction, he'll come back somehow. I'm pretty confident in that. Yeah. And Disney's really just losing out on money, and fans aren't happy. I mean, really, there's no win for Disney or Star Wars in that.
And really, I'm pretty sure Cad Bane was largely created by Dave Filoni. Cad Bane was Dave Filoni's brainchild. So I feel like he knows Cad's character, and he knows what people want to see as far as Cad Bane.
Yeah, and so let's just. I mean, the biggest question is Cad Bane dead? Is Cad Bane dead? Yeah,
we haven't really talked about that yet. Is he dead?
And I think there's plausible reason to still think he's alive. And honestly, I myself didn't notice it, but as you explained to me, there was some kind of blinking light indicator
on his chest. As soon as he stabbed the stick through him, this light started blinking. And there's a reason why they didn't have to do that.
No, not at all.
And when it panned, you hear him exhale a few times, and then he lays there lifeless.
Yeah.
As people are led to believe. And then it pans up and the light's still blinking.
Yeah.
And who haven't we seen this whole show? Toto.
Yeah.
And people are saying that light could be blinking, reckoning Toto, coming back, bringing his ship, and taking him to a bacta tank or to the mods.
Yeah, whoever can heal him. And I think it's so weird to think about it, because if he sliced the pipe, because
I was thinking that too.
Cad Bane's able to survive being choked. I mean, obviously Boba knew that. There's no way Boba didn't know that. So he probably hit him in a place where he hit that, that pipe that would prevent him from being able to breathe. But I think that's a good point. We haven't seen Toto, and Toto was a big part of Cad Bane's character in the Clone Wars.
He was with him pretty much everywhere.
So surely we'll see him. I honestly think we'll see him back again.
In the future?
I think so. I think Disney... I know we'll definitely see him in the past. Disney would be stupid not to bring him back in the past. Yeah. But in the future, I feel like there's too much story that fans want to see. Disney Plus needs content. And, no better content. But there's a lot in between what we last saw of him in Bad Batch and now.
There's but I feel like it's just too soon. And we haven't pointed this out. There probably are fans out there that don't know much about Clone Wars. That's the only thing they've seen of Cad Bane and love him already.
Yeah, exactly.
And they want to see him in the future. They don't know anything about his past. They think this is all they know about him. They want to see him keep going.
Exactly. And this is I think my final thought. People, until a character dies, people know how good that they had it until it's gone. It really is the truth.
That's true.
It really is the truth. I started thinking about just a second ago while you were talking. I was like, Dadgum, Cad Bane was insane, dude. He was so good. He was so good. Honestly, I'd rather not knowing if he died at all.
Yeah.
But we thought up until he just showed up in Book of Boba Fett, we thought he died to Boba Fett in the Clone Wars. So
yeah, and I think that was a lot of why they did that.
Yeah.
People wanted to see that, which I guess now it's kind of confirmed that fight
was a stalemate.
Still happened, was a stalemate.
Yeah.
When Cad Bane's hat came off, he had the metal plate from where Boba shot him.
Yep.
And Boba's helmet has the dent from where Cad shot him.
Exactly. So
So I feel like they were thinking people wanted to see that happen, which we still could have, but that fight, that was a stalemate in the past.
Yeah.
That would end CAD still moves forward. That would have been cool too.
And so that's what I'm like. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just like, we don't know how Gilby had it until he's gone. Like it starts making fans reflect. Like wow, like he really
he's such a good character.
He is a great character. It's not even just that he's overpowered or really good. Like it's just he's just a good character.
The whole concept.
You love to see
you
love to see like a character that's not only missed because of how overpowered he is, but because of like the way he acted, like his character in general. So, and like I said, the adaptation was beautiful. Like, I think it was well done. I don't think I've seen a better.
It was great.
I don't think I've seen a better adaptation. Like back and forth. Like we've seen characters adapted into animation. I don't think I've seen anything near as good as what they did with Cad Bane.
Right, like Finnick was first introduced in live action. Then she was in.
Yeah, and I think they did a good job, but it wasn't near as good as what they did with Cad Bane. So
Bo-Katan.
I mean, you can jank on Cad Bane's look. Like I understand that, but like as far as like the overall feel of his character.
Yeah,
he looked very
similar.
It looked very similar, but it also felt the same. It
That's
didn't feel the same. Like it, I don't want to be like harsh or like have a hot take, but like it didn't feel the same seeing Ahsoka in live action like it did with Cad Bane. Like there was something like about watching Cad Bane live that I was like, it really does feel like I'm watching Clone Wars.
Because he was based on a Western character, Cad Bane was. And the way he was introduced in that scenery, Western. It was just perfect.
Yeah, it was.
And Ahsoka, it's very hard to adapt her, especially like you said earlier, the whole Clone Wars series was kind of about Ahsoka.
Yeah, and whereas Cad Bane was always a side character, but like it, and that's why I think like bringing Ahsoka into live action was gratuitous at best. And like, and that's not bad because we want to see more for live action.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Don't get me wrong. I want to see as much as we can.
But bringing in Cad Bane felt like it really could have made a difference for his character.
Oh yeah.
Like not that he didn't get anything in Clone Wars, but it just felt like that it could have been different for his character.
They could have made it to where he had just as much or more in live action they did in Clone Wars.
Yeah, and so I mean that's kind of the way I look at it. I mean. Overall, I like we said earlier, I like the episode in general. But I'm very much on the side of like it is sad to see Cad die. Like I hope we see him back.
I hope we do.
And part of me knows that we'll see him back in the past, but in the future, I'm hopeful.
Yeah, he may not be dead. We can leave this video being hopeful that he might not be dead. I hope he's not dead.
Yeah, and don't give the writers hate. You know, and that's. I mean, if the show was genuinely bad, it's. I understand giving the hate because then it's just raking in money for terrible content. But I didn't feel like the show was bad. I know that's subjective. Like I can't objectively say it was good, but
this episode as a whole, I think the part where Mando and Boba fly out, the part where we were talking about this earlier, where he rode the Rancor. Oh, that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen
in any cinema. That's one of the.
That was just so cool.
It was amazing, dude.
That was a great payoff, but. Yeah,
but it is a mar on the episode for sure. Watching Cad die.
Let me say this: if Cad Bane comes back in the future, I think people will look back at this episode and be like, "Dang, that was pretty good. You had us there thinking he was dead."
Exactly, and so that's the
perfect.
That's a great point, and so that's like that's the part of me that's like Filoni and Favreau know what they're doing. Like they're riling fans up only to bring him back maybe in Mando season 3, or if they do a Book of Boba Fett season 2, or if they do a Cad Bane season 1.
It'd be a lot like Phantom Menace when everybody thought,
and everybody saw Maul back, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" Like you legit had us
in that fight, and you're like,
"That's one of the best fights I've ever seen." Yeah, exactly. So, that's a great point. That's fantastic. But at the end of the day, like, I like the episode. I'll end it on that. I like the episode. It is a mar on the episode, but I like the episode.
Yeah, the episode as a whole was.
It's
good.
like a nice bright white picture with a splotch of red paint in the middle, right where he got stabbed in the chest. That's what
it felt like to me, like a metaphorical gaffy stick was going.
It felt like you were on the clouds, man, but somebody's holding your foot down right before you can get above that last layer. You know, that's what it feels like. But at the end of the day, you know, I feel like the 5th time I've said this. Good episode. We liked it. I think you liked it. I liked it. And
it was a good series. I'll say that too.
Let us know what you guys think, and we'll leave it up to y'all. Y'all know what we think. We've kind of, I think, thoroughly given our viewpoint, but thanks guys.
Hey, signing off for the whole series.
Signing off for the whole series. We'll see you in Mando. We'll see you Star Wars in Mando season 3
for the whole season. Maybe not the series. They could bring a season 2.
Yeah, that's true.
But for this season, signing off.
Yeah, We'll see you in the next video, though. Well, I think we got a bounty hunter ranking coming out, so we'll be on the lookout for that. All right, see you in the next one. Thank you guys for watching.